My name is Keith Holt. I'm a South African by birth, but I've been in the UK for over 20 years now. And the Dunoon project was this broader idea to put a gondola up the mountain behind me. And Action Argyll itself is really the first project that we've embarked on to develop Dunoon as one of the top, if not the top destination for not just mountain biking, but also zip lines, gravel riding, road cycling, all of those things together.
Yeah, so we've got 13 individual enduro trails that link up into being longer trails, which the initial phase, the first phase for Action Argyll is to develop the trails that we've already got. So that's anything from drainage and trimming grass and to extending the length of them up the hill a bit more. So that's the initial first steps for those trails. And other mountain biking will fall in, so that it will be a much more diverse area then. But initially we need to start somewhere, and we're going to start with what we've already got.
So some of the new trails and tracks that we do will be Minnaar designed, and he's keen to have a hands-on involvement. So when we start to do events, whether it's digital, virtual events, or whether it's real-world events, to have Greg involved is a huge boost to the project. And if you think of the golf courses that are designed by the Ernie Elses in the world, think of the bike trails that so Greg Minnaar designed and things like that, and involved and what have you. So he as a person and him as a name is very much a key part of what we're looking to do, and it's incredibly exciting. Mountain biking as a start, and then we go from there. And we're doing a number of things to actually build that up even more. So for example, we're working with Wahoo and RGT to build a virtual track that's a replica of the real world gravel track that's here, so that you'd be able to ride a Dunoon track regardless of where you're sitting in the world, and then come over here and experience the real thing.
The potential here for gravel riding is massive. You know, you're only rolling off the boat, you're only 30 or 40 kilometres from the Cowl Way, and from there you can get through to Argyle Head and further afield. So it really is the gateway to a much bigger area of gravel riding.
Over the COVID lockdown, there was a hotel called the Glenmorag. It's no longer there, but we always identified that site as a perfect spot to form a base for the development. And we were fortunate enough to be able to buy that over lockdown when the hotel owners put it up for sale, and that's been a catalyst for allowing us to move forward. The land that the community are looking to acquire on top of the hill includes things like peatland, opportunities for rewilding. We're looking at a hydroelectric scheme potentially, and other things we can do, not just around adventure tourism, but to really make it a sustainable community. That's a community that is thriving in and of its own right. It's not dependent on the outside world and so on. And I think the exciting bit is that we've actually managed to get going with Action Argyll and the biking, and we're actively developing that. I think being sort of able to host the Scottish Enduro series for the next few years is an exciting sort of boost to what we're trying to do. So the first sort of the immediate step is, yes, we're already getting stuff done. The biking is already underway. So in terms of timeline, so by summer next year, hopefully we'll have the facilities built for the bikers, the cafe, the bike storage, the showers and the changing rooms and all of those things. When we talk about the other things like the gondola, that's probably a few years away. That requires a lot more investment and planning and all sorts of things like that. But I would love to see it in place within the next 3 years. So once the gondola is in place, then that absolutely explodes the whole project, with people being able to use the uplift to get to the top of the hill, being able to zip line. And the idea with the zip lines is to have multiple phases of zip lines. So starting at the top, going down to the next one, then taking another one further down over Bishop's Glen, then taking another one, and eventually ending up at the base of the hill, and developing it out from there with other sort of adventure activities, with rewilding, with walks and trails and the accommodation and all sorts of things.
Well, the Action Argyll is going to give the people of Dunoon something physical to actually see. There's been a lot of talk up till now about the project, and everybody's extremely supportive, but this is going to be the first visible things that people can actually get their hands on and experience and do. So it's a massive leap in the right direction for the whole project.
People really see the potential of this, not just for Dunoon, but for the broader Cowal and Argyle, and even for Scotland. I think I heard somebody said that Glen Tress attracts 300,000 visitors a year, and if we were attracting that here, then that's a big boost to Scotland tourism, and it's a huge boost for Dunoon. If you think of this being the marine gateway to the Trossachs and Loch Lomond National Park and so on, then I think the potential for this project goes well beyond Dunoon itself, and has potential implications for the rest of Cowal and Argyle and Scotland and have a very positive impact of that.